following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network. I'm your host, Karlifornia, and it's great to be here for the review show for WWE Crown Jewel from August 5th, 2022 from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. If you notice something a little different, I'm not wearing my headphones, so I have to apologize for the audio quality because unfortunately, the audio jack hole in the back of my computer, it won't detect me having headphones on. So I can't use the microphone on my headphones. I don't know what the problem is. That means I'm going to be set back with the podcast and everything as well. So it's unfortunate, but I will hopefully fix the issue this week and just get some headphones that have a USB output. So we'll see what we can do. But so I apologize again for the audio quality on this recording. But anyway, it's time for me to get into the show of Crown Jewel 2022. I did like last year's Crown Jewel. I do recall that. Also, another thing I need to let you know, I have COVID right now. So I'm really fucking tired. I'm exhausted and I'm not feeling the best, but I don't want to let our viewers down. I have to review everything. You might remember a few months ago, I got coward punched in the face when I wasn't looking at a pub. And then the very next day, I did a review of Impact Wrestling. Nothing's going to stop me, baby. So let's get into it. We start off with Lashley, Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, taking on the beast, Brock Lesnar. So what a way to start the show off right here. And I have to say, nobody can put shows on like this except WWE. It's just a fact, man. And they're starting off the show with a bang. One thing I have to mention about the fans, okay? I love these fans in Saudi Arabia. They are legit. They aren't marky. They don't try and take over the show. They're just legit fans of wrestling. And it's so nice to feel that it was almost like they come across like casual wrestling fans. You know what I mean? They treat it in a way that's like, it's just so, there's a charm to the way that they react to the show. I have to say, they're just wrestling fans with no agenda other than to enjoy the show, except that there are guys in the headgear, like the headdress. They're on their phone a lot or not looking at the ring. I don't know if they're security or what they are, but it is what it is. Also, it's always a breath of fresh air having Wade Barrett on commentary, and I'll mention him a few times during this show. Off to a hot start with Lashley just, dominating Lesnar early on the barricade spot. I mean, anyone who has a spear in their repertoire on a big show, this barricade spot happens every single time. You think by now they would reinforce that one area. It's always where the timekeeper's area is. Like, I get it, it's a specky little spot, but, I think maybe they should just do that once a year, not like every single time that there's a big show. Excuse me, having COVID means you're thirsty constantly. And I'm drinking alcohol. Anyway, have to give Michael Cole props because I think he's so different now that he doesn't have Vince McMahon in his ears screaming at him. You can feel the passion coming from him. It's like the Michael Cole of old that you might remember from back when Mankind won the WWF Championship on Raw. Michael Cole is completely different. I'm so impressed with him, really. I used to hate on him so much. And now, complete 180. Lashley, when he takes those German suplexes from Lesnar, he fucking wears those German suplexes, bro. He takes the brunt of that shit real well. He's improved because at the Rumble, I believe, there were some Germans where he wasn't taking them very well. So props to him on that. I have to complain a little bit about, again, Brock, you're not utilizing the F5 early on and someone kicking out of it. I really think he needs to start protecting his finisher a little bit. I mean, I get it's Lashley, but how many times has Reigns kicked out of the F5, McIntyre is kicked out of the F5. I don't know. I just think maybe you need to protect it a little bit more, Brock. But this was an interesting outcome here. Lashley locks in the hurt lock, and then Brock does the a la Bret Hart, Roddy Piper from WrestleMania 8. Well, I can't remember which one it was, but popping up on the turnbuckle, jumping back, and then ending up getting the pin on the opponent. So like Brock getting the pin on Lashley like that, I like it because it opens up a rematch. Because I always felt like, geez, why are they doing Lashley and Lesnar now? Shouldn't they wait for WrestleMania? Because we need to wait for a big match for WrestleMania for both of these guys. You need to take your time with some of this stuff and utilize a big matchup like this at the most meaningful time. Not that there's anything against Crown Jewel, but I just think some of these matches really do need to be on a WrestleMania because you only have so many matches that you can do that some may consider a dream match. After the match, Lashley locks in the hurt lock again, so Lashley kind of turns a bit heel there. But I really dug it. I like the fact that we just got a taste of things to come. Sorry, I had to pause a recording there to cough. COVID is shit, bro. I've got 3 vaccinations in me and I'm still feeling this bad. Anyway, let's move forward. WWE Women's Tag Team titles. The champions Alexa Bliss and Asuka taking on Damage Control, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. I have to say, I don't know what it is about Dakota Kai, but I love Dakota Kai. I don't know if it's like the hair, the presentation she puts on, her selling, the fact I find her quite attractive. I don't know. I just think she's really cool. And it probably doesn't help the fact that I had kind of a little bit of a romantic dream about her last week. Anyway, I noticed that the ladies' outfits in Saudi Arabia this time aren't as tight as they were last time. If you recall last time, the women's outfits were so tight. And I was thinking to myself, Matt, you might as well have them wear their regular gear because as far as I was concerned, those outfits were just as, if not more sexy than the usual outfits. But they had the outfits were a little looser this time. So, they got to do what they got to do over there. Great tight chain wrestling early on between Dakota and Alexa. You know what? I keep going on about stuff like this, but I think Alexa Bliss might have the sexiest smile in wrestling. Asuka got the big tag, and you can tell Asuka is over in Saudi Arabia. I caught like a glimpse of the press conference the day before, and I stopped watching when I realized that it was going to be boring. But when she came out, the fans really, really popped for her, and they popped for her when she got tagged into this match. I am still wondering how much these tag titles mean. I still feel like we need more real teams. Damage Control are a real team, but all these other teams seem to just get thrown together. Like on commentary, I believe Michael Cole said that Asuka is a 3-time tag team champion and has 3 different partners. I don't know. I don't dig it. I don't know why, in the first place, they brought in these tag titles and they never had a game plan. Excuse me, I blame Vince for that. But, I think that they really need to make a concerted effort with not only the, women's tag titles, but the men's tag titles as well. And I think eventually we'll see that come through. I really do believe in Triple H's vision, to be honest with you. At least Damage Control, they came in as a team, so good heat on the knee of what's it? Yeah, it was on Asuka. Shit. Look, I watched this pay-per-view last night, starting after midnight, and I didn't stop watching it until 3:30 in the morning. So I'm tired and I can't really remember everything that well, but just stay with me here, okay? Just stay with me. Asuka, big props to you. You are a female pro wrestler that can take a flapjack. There aren't many out there that seem to hit or take that maneuver properly. Big hot tag for Alexa Bliss, crowd pop. Alexa hitting that code red on Io Sky. Great snap, great snap. And then out of the blue, Nikki Cross interferes. I don't know if she's joining Damage Control, but we get new champs. And you know what? I kind of felt like, why did they drop the belts in the first place? But, you know, there's nothing wrong with a quick hot potato. And having Damage Control be a multi-time tag team champion team isn't a bad thing at all. So yeah, I dug the match. Moving forward, one thing I've been begging for so long is watching somebody arrive to the building. Remember back in the day on Raw is War, where, you know, we're 20 minutes into the show and a limousine, you know, rocks up and out walks DX or whatever. And I missed that. You know, you watch WCW Nitro, limo pulls up. Here comes the Nature Boy walking out with the four horsemen. You know, I like it. It's a nice touch. And Logan Paul arrives with, you know, his boys and his brother Jake. And it had its place. It had meaning. And then we're going to get Roman showing up a little bit later as well. You know, it's just adding a little bit here and there, you know, these little nuances through the show that make things interesting and expand the universe of, you know, the building that they're in and utilizing it. You know, and I think they could have probably done more with that on this show. But anyway, let's move forward. Cage match up next. Karrion Kross with, man, you all know what I'm like when it comes to females. I'm obsessed with women. Scarlett Bordeaux, it's just like the hottest thing in the world, man. I love her. He takes on Drew McIntyre in this cage match. I thought this would be interesting. I thought Karrion was okay at the last pay-per-view Extreme Rules in that strap match, but I felt like he needs to show me more in the ring, because what I saw at that show and what I saw at Ric Flair's last match when he wrestled David Hart Smith, I wasn't that impressed with the in-ring stuff. And I'm not usually like that, but I think I'm expecting more from him because I like the presentation of him and Scarlett. But I thought he did well in this one. I also noticed there's a lot more NXT references and mentioning of the accolades that people have achieved through their time in WWE coming from NXT. So I think that's you know, a good thing, and it makes it seem important. One thing I will say, and this is going to sound rude, but considering I'm not in the best shape in the world, but when I look at Drew McIntyre and I look at Karrion Kross, I think to myself, Karrion should ask Drew about what his workout theory is and what he does to have the physique that he has, because I think Karrion Kross could have a better physique. He looks a little soft. He does. I have to be honest with you. And I only say that because I think I've seen him in better shape. And I'm not trying to knock on him or body shame. I'm just saying, like, you compare him to Drew, I think Karrion could look just as impressive. But this is a heated feud at least. I like it. I thought Karrion Kross should win. I know that, you know, you got to give the babyface a win at some point, but, you know, I thought maybe this is a big moment for him to pick up another big win over Drew. A great throw spot from the corner with Drew upside down. You know, he's like in like a tree of woe, and he just fucking pulled himself up and pulled Karrion off. I thought that was great. It was great selling from Drew. You could sense the desperation in him. The selling was just fantastic, on point. Scarlett, again, getting involved at the right time. They're utilizing the person at ringside, the manager, the valet, whatever you want to call her. They're utilizing her, and she's having an effect on the match. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, as we will lead to the finish here. Karrion hits the cross hammer. He starts to mess around. That's when I know, okay, Drew's winning. Drew with a big superplex from the top of the cage. That was insane. Then Scarlett with the mace. I love that she maced Drew and she maced the referee. I just love when referees get a couple bunch of shit. It's awesome. But it was great drama toward the end of the match. And in the end, Drew picks up the win by scaling the cage and getting to the outside before Karrion can get through the door. Very good. Moving forward, Roman Reigns shows up with his boys, and Byron Saxton gets ignored by him. Then Paul Heyman cuts a little bit of a promo. Very nice. Let's move forward. 6-man tag team matchup. I have to be honest with you, I'm really starting to not feel very well. I've only got a few matches left, but I feel very lightheaded right now, so I apologize. I'm doing my best. Judgment Day against the OC, which of course is Gallows, Anderson, and Styles against Balor, Priest, and my son Dominic. I must admit, I'm happy that Finn Balor was not in the gimp mask as he walked out. I thought that was weird the first time I saw it, and I did not think he should wear it. It looks stupid. I think it's good that the Good Brothers are back where they should be. They should be in the WWE, man. We need more great tag teams, and I think under Triple H's guidance and the push he's going to give them, they're going to get what they deserve that they did not get the first time around. Sorry, but Vince does not care about tag team wrestling, and he screwed over so many teams. I could go on forever for how many teams got messed with over the years that could have been great teams that had a great run in the company. Anyway, moving forward, Wade saying that it's up for debate with whoever is the better Mysterio between Dominic and Ray is such a bunch of shit. I fucking love it. So funny. I want to hear from y'all out there. Do you reckon it would be a stupid thing or a stupid swerve to have Edge rejoin the group and leave the group again? Because I kind of feel like he left the group for, apparently the reason was they wanted to make the group more of a supernatural group, and he didn't want to do that, so they removed him from the group. But now, it doesn't appear to be that way. Would it be a problem to have him lead the group, or should we just leave them as they are? Are they doing fine on their own now? I don't know. But I will say Damian Priest is still so much better as a heel, and I'll say Finn Balor is too. Wade was just being a little prick on commentary. I love it. A good spot with Carl Anderson looking for the hot tag, but then AJ gets pulled off the apron, and then he manages to get to a tag to Luke Gallows, and I love that Dominic copped it real sweet there. So some great drama again. AJ Styles reminding me and everyone around the world that he's still main event material. Hopefully one day he will find himself back in that echelon again. Lots of drama, back and forth. And I will say this about Finn Balor. He's good, but keep him in his lane. He is not a main event guy as far as I'm concerned. He's good in this little spot here, but I do not see him as a top guy. That's just me. There was a triple down spot, but in the end, the Judgment Day win thanks to Rhea Ripley at ringside getting involved. So Judgment Day with some momentum now. They've beaten Edge. They've sent him packing. They've sent Beth Phoenix packing, and now they've beaten the OC. So, they're not giving up on them yet. And I don't think they're doing bad. I was really mad about the fact that Edge was removed from the group. And I remember saying in a previous review, I now no longer care about the Judgment Day. Well, they've done good enough for me to still care at this point, but I liked that initial grouping, and I thought Edge was, it was really cool to see him leading a stable at this stage in his career, where he might not have to get in the ring all the time, but at least he's going to be a focal point on the show. He's going to be, the mouthpiece and will wrestle when it's important. Let's move forward. The Battle of the Giants here. Omos taking on Braun Strowman. Obviously no MVP at ringside because of some sort of thing to do with Saudi Arabia, whatever. But I thought this is going to be interesting, and my friend Adam Blast is going to love this because I know that he likes watching two big bulls going at it like this. These two big bastards. I have to say Omos has improved so much, and if anyone out there is still talking smack about him, that right there, stick it up your hole, okay? Omos is, how big is the guy? He's like 7 foot something, 7'3", 7'4". He moves that well. I think he's improved a heap. You know, not every match needs flips and shit. You know, you can have different flavors. There's nothing wrong with a big man matchup. The presence is there. It's impressive to see. I don't know how people can't get into stuff like this, but anyway, I thought that this was a breath of fresh air. It was something different. These two big motherfuckers going at it. But you can see the confidence in Omos as tenfold. He's way more confident in that ring than he was a year ago. Constantly trash talking, you know, to be constantly in character whilst remembering what you're doing next. That's difficult. A lot of people forget, you know, what they're doing in the match or, you know, character-wise because they're worried about their spots, whereas he was on point this whole match. Strowman did a great job with his selling. Man, I've been hating on Strowman for so long, but I thought he did really well here. He came back with a big right hand, a lot of small details, which came about with Braun's comeback. It was really good stuff. Then he goes to do his big choo-choo train spot on the outside, and Omos flattens him, man. It was sweet. But then, big surprise, Strowman got the big win, but it made kind of sense because he just come back. This is like his first big pay-per-view match since being back, so you probably got to give him a win and help him going forward. And I hope that we see a few rematches. I hope this goes further. I'm just going to have another break here because I almost passed out just then. And we're back. Sorry, everyone. I'm having a real hard time right now. I don't feel very well at all. But I've got 3 matches to go. So stick with me here. The tag team titles on the line in the next matchup. The Usos defending against the Brawling Brutes, which is Butch and Ridge Holland. I thought this was a hell of a card, man. I thought this was a hell of a card. Early on in the match, Ridge gets his moment. He shines very well. And I love the cutoff from that suicide dive when he just yocked one of the Usos in the face with a stiff, it was either left or right hand. But great stuff. I thought Jessica Carr stood out as a referee in this match. She did a great job. Great catch by Butch on Jimmy's splash. That was impressive stuff. You know, locking him into that submission hold. Ridge makes this great save, but like you saw it coming because you could see from the camera angle that he was sitting there on the apron. A great near fall with the white noise, but you knew that the Usos probably weren't dropping the belts at this point. And I wonder what team is going to take those belts off them right now because they're running out of options. Another near fall with the driver after the super kick. Jimmy gets that blind tag. Soon after that, we get a sweet 1D off the top rope and the Usos retain. Let's move forward. I'm not feeling well. Last women's standing matchup for the Raw Women's Championship. Bayley takes on the champion, Bianca Belair. I just wrote straight up, I want Bianca to fucking lose. I'm so over it. I know my friend Kev is hating Bayley right now, and I'm sorry, Kev, but I'm so bored of babyface Bianca, I can't be fucked anymore. Babyface champions for too long, as far as I'm concerned, they suck. You know, WWE seems to have a hard time booking babyface champions and keeping it interesting, as far as I'm concerned. And I also hate last man standing matches. They're just boring and drawn out, man. But I did like that Wade Barrett said the meanest and nastiest people win these kinds of matches. I really dug Bayley feigning injury on the entranceway. Great heel work. I thought Bayley was doing a good job as a heel in this match. I like the belly to Bayley or Bayley to belly, whatever the fuck you call it on the stage. All the stuff on the stage was really good. You know, Bayley driving a golf cart. This is just typical WWE stuff. It was a shame that when Bianca took control of that golf cart with Bayley on top, that when she fell off the top of the roof, that she didn't go through that table. But then she gets powerbombed through that table by Bianca. I was glad that she got to 9, though, because I was really hopeful that Damage Control were going to come out and cost Bianca the win, but Bianca misses a 450, and then eventually she sticks Bayley inside of a ladder and jams it underneath the bottom turnbuckle, and Bayley can't get up before the count of 10. I just wrote, I'm sick of the EST. Honestly, I am. And there's nothing against her. She's an incredible athlete. She's very good in the ring. But I'm just so sick of the happy-go-lucky, smiling. I hate it. I hate it, man. Anyway, let's move forward to the main event of the evening before I pass out here. It is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns defending the WWE Universal and WWE Championship against Logan Paul, the YouTube star. Bit weird, isn't it? But you got to give this dude props. It's his third match, and he had a match like this. Come on, man. All three matches he's had have been really good. He's a remarkable athlete. I have to admit. I have to give him props, man. Like everyone out there, you got to give the guy props. He's done a bloody good job. Look at that buckshot lariat. Hangman Page, eat your heart out, bro. CM Punk definitely eat your heart out, but man, he nailed that move. The way Roman was selling this, like he couldn't believe it, like he'd undersold how, much of a threat Logan Paul was. I love that Logan went for that springboard and he just got that big right hand, laid him out. This was a war. Logan again with a great blockbuster, like one of the best blockbusters I've ever seen. And that Wade Barrett, I think, said, he's the best 3-match wrestler that there's ever been. I don't know if I can disagree with that. I mean, it takes a lot of training to get good in professional wrestling. I mean, it really does. A lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people out there really understand like how much goes into learning all the laws and all the little intricacies of what you do as a professional wrestler. Great crossbody into a standing moonsault. And Logan finally hit that punch, and it looked like Reigns was going to be out for the count. Man, this thing just started to devolve more and more. Big splash from the top rope to the outside. I was just like, Jesus Christ, man, like this is insane. Then the Usos come out. They beat the fuck out of Logan's boys at ringside, which I dug. Out comes Jake Paul, knocks out the Usos. It's all shenanigans going on. It's a lot of drama. Big picture-perfect frog splash from Logan Paul. Out comes Sikoa, Solo Sikoa, and all that's going on with Jake Paul at ringside. Eventually, Roman finally hits a spear. 1, 2, 3. Sweet match. What a fucking main event, bro. I have to give both of them props. That was a hell of a main event. And, for me, it was 3:30 in the morning, having COVID, not feeling well, but they retained my attention and I was pumped up throughout. So there we have it, everyone. There's my review show of WWE Crown Jewel from August 5th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I have COVID. I'm really unwell right now. So I hope you've enjoyed this review and I hope that it wasn't too painful to get through. To give this a rating out of 10, I guess I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a pretty sweet pay-per-view, but I probably wouldn't rewatch it or anything like that. But, it entertained me for the 3 or so hours that I watched it. So thank all of you out there. Please remember to check out our shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com, on our merchandise store, Thunder Mifflin, under the WZWA Network. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube. Check us out on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, every single platform you can think of. We are on there. Believe it. We've even got a MySpace account and no one uses MySpace. So thank all of you out there for once again joining me. I'm Karlifornia. This is the WZWA Network, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.